Diddy's $100 million lawsuit collapses. Judge shuts it down instantly. Diddy's $100 million lawsuit collapses. Judge shuts it down instantly. Sean Diddy Combs just suffered another crushing legal defeat. On April 22, 2026, New York Supreme Court Judge Phaedra F. Perry Bond dismissed his $100 million defamation lawsuit against NBCUniversal and Peacock, ruling that the case had no merit. The lawsuit targeted the documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, which aired on Peacock in January 2025 and explored Combs' career alongside allegations of sexual assault and conspiracy theories. Diddy claimed the film falsely painted him as a serial killer responsible for the deaths of Kim Porter and the Notorious B.I.G. But the judge wasn't convinced. Why the case collapsed? Reputation already destroyed. Perry Bond wrote that Combs' image was tarnished long before the documentary aired, citing civil lawsuits, a leaked domestic violence video, and his 2024 federal indictment, self-inflicted damage. NBC's lawyers pointed to Diddy's own October 2025 sentencing statement where he admitted, "I totally destroyed my reputation." Balance reporting. The court found the documentary followed editorial standards, including counterstatements from Diddy's legal team and evidence like Porter's autopsy report, which ruled out foul play. First Amendment protection. The ruling emphasized that the film was protected journalistic expression, covering issues already widely reported in mainstream media. Current legal status. Combs is serving a 50-month sentence at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey after being convicted in July 2025 of violating the Mann Act, transportation for prostitution. He was acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking charges but continues to appeal his conviction, arguing that his conduct was protected under the First Amendment. Key reasons for the dismissal. Existing reputational damage. The judge noted that Diddy's image was already tarnished by numerous civil lawsuits, a high-profile domestic violence video, and his 2024 federal criminal indictment. Self-admission of guilt. NBC's defense highlighted Diddy's own statements during his October sentencing, where he admitted, "I totally destroyed my reputation." Editorial standards. The court found the documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, followed a carefully curated and nuanced approach by including multiple perspectives and direct denials from Diddy's legal team. First Amendment protections. The ruling emphasized that the documentary was protected as journalistic expression, as it explored topics already widely reported in mainstream media. Why Diddy sued? In February 2025, Combs filed the $100 million suit, accusing NBCUniversal and Peacock of chasing sensationalism and disregarding journalistic integrity. He claimed the documentary spread baseless conspiracy theories, including allegations of serial murder and trafficking. Interviews with B.I.G, and Gene Deal were cited as defamatory, with Combs insisting he was heartbroken by the deaths of Porter and Biggie and outraged by suggestions he was involved. The judge's final word. Judge Perry Bond's dismissal was blunt. The documentary could not have harmed Combs' reputation because it was already irreparably damaged. The ruling protects filmmakers and journalists, with NBC's attorney Ted Buttress calling it an important victory for the First Amendment. A New York Supreme Court judge has officially dismissed Sean Diddy Combs' $100 million defamation lawsuit against NBCUniversal and Peacock as of April 22, 2026. Judge Phaedra F. Perry Bond ruled that the lawsuit lacked merit, citing that Diddy's reputation was already severely damaged by previous legal issues before the documentary aired. A New York judge dismissed rapper Sean Diddy Combs' $100 million defamation lawsuit against NBCUniversal over a documentary it aired last year about his career and sexual assault allegations on Peacock, which Combs had alleged shamelessly advances and endorses conspiracy theories that he is a serial killer. Current legal status. Diddy is currently serving a 50-month federal prison sentence at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey. He was convicted in July 2025 on 2 counts of violating the Mann Act, transportation for prostitution, but was acquitted of more serious racketeering and sex trafficking charges. His legal team is currently appealing that conviction, arguing for immediate release based on First Amendment protections for amateur pornography. Would you like to know more about the specific allegations Diddy is currently appealing in his criminal case? New York Supreme Court Judge Phaedra F. Perry Bond granted NBCUniversal's motion to dismiss, writing in a filing the documentary could not have harmed Combs' reputation because it was already tarnished by the numerous lawsuits, domestic violence video, press coverage, and a criminal indictment prior to the documentary's publication. Combs sued NBCUniversal and Peacock last year and requested $100 million in damages, alleging a documentary it released in January 2025, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, defamed him by falsely suggesting he played a role in the deaths of his former girlfriend Kim Porter and the Notorious B.I.G. The documentary was released 4 months after Combs was indicted on racketeering, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. He was later convicted on the prostitution charges and sentenced to 50 months in federal prison. Ted Buttress, a lawyer representing NBCUniversal, told Forbes the decision is an important ruling that protects filmmakers and journalists by dismissing this meritless complaint as barred by New York law and the First Amendment. Combs spokesman Judah Engelmayer declined to comment to Forbes. Why did Combs sue NBCUniversal? In February 2025, Sean Diddy Combs filed a $100 million lawsuit against NBCUniversal and Peacock, claiming their documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, spread false conspiracy theories about him, including serial murder and sexual assault. He argued the film ignored journalistic standards and unfairly suggested he was linked to the deaths of Kim Porter and the Notorious B.I.G. Why was it dismissed? Judge Phaedra F. Perry Bond ruled the case lacked merit, noting Combs' reputation was already damaged by prior lawsuits, press coverage, and his criminal indictment. The court found the documentary balanced, including Porter's autopsy report and statements denying foul play. Key background: Combs is serving a 50-month sentence for violating the Mann Act. He was acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking but faces ongoing appeals.